Okay. So today we will start with the VLANs. VLANs is like virtual LANs. 1 minute, hold on. See, with yesterday's topic, what we have learned when the system is doing ARP is usually generated by system, right? When the system is generating ARP, it is what he is generating. He is generating broadcast packet. Correct? Because whenever system is sending ARP to one machine, see, this is a switch, this is a PC, this is a switch connected to a switch, this is another PC. When this system wants to communicate with this, initially there is a ARP pressure, ARP, right? ARP packet. And whenever there is ARP, the switch will do a broadcast. And broadcast will go to all the available active ports. Correct? That was yesterday we saw in our labs, right? So now what we can do to overcome overcome a broadcaster is a virtual LANs. So what happens? See, virtual LANs means suppose you have this is your switch now. On a switch, you have four departments connected. Department 1 is a HR, department 2 is a IT. Let's assume three departments. Department 3 is a sales. Three departments are connected. These are department 1, department 2, department 3. Department 1 we have 10 users, department we have 20 users, again department we have 10 users. Okay, total 40 users we have. These are connected, and as of now these all are part of one big LAN, right? They are part of all one big LAN. So whenever the broadcast happen, this particular traffic, suppose a broadcast is happening from HR domain, he is doing a ARP resolution or ARP request. Now the broadcast will go to switch will broadcast it to not only to HR, but he will broadcast the traffic to even IT and even sales, right? That's how switch is behaving when we have one big LAN. But if you don't want HR ARP or HR broadcast should go to another departments, what we can do, we can virtually create a different LANs. HR would be part of LAN 1 now, IT would be part of LAN 2, or sales would be part of LAN 3. Okay. Now how we can do this? We cannot have a physical LANs available, because physical LANs we would need like physical switches. For HR, suppose we need one switch. This switch belongs to HR. Then for IT, we would again need one more switch, and for sales again we would need one more switch. Okay, this is not possible. It is huge cost would be involved with this, right? Each physical device have some certain cost, right? And suppose you are running with like 100 users company, then there is like 10-15 departments. For each department you cannot have separate switches, correct? And any department can be sitting anywhere in the company. So to overcome, what we have decided, instead of physical LANs we will create a virtual LANs. Okay, so now within one switch, what we will have now, 1 minute. Now within one big switch, this is one big switch. First we will configure VLANs. Okay, then whatever ports we have, suppose this is one port, sorry. Okay, now whatever, how many ports we have here. Okay, this is like a switch, right? After creating a virtual LANs, we will decide this port should be part of HR, this port should be part of IT, this port should be part of sales, again fourth port HR, fifth port IT, sixth port sales. So what happens when HR is doing a ARP will only go to HR machines, not IT machine. Okay, see, HR is doing ARP, it will go to only HR. And again when IT is doing ARP, it will again go to only IT machines. It will not go to sales or something. And when sales is doing a broadcast, again it will go to only sales, not any other user. Okay, this only will happen. It will not go to any other things in a environment. Okay, is it clear? Why do we need the VLANs? Is it clear? So simply we don't want unnecessary broadcast in our environment. Okay, to overcome with a broadcast solution, we are creating a VLANs. How we are reducing this? See, there it cannot be possible that the network will run without a broadcast traffic, but we can reduce it to particular area. Now within a one switch, what we are doing, we are creating this particular table. Now what we are trying to do, this particular area will be IT, and do a broadcast only till this level for IT domain. Then for another area, this area would be sales. Don't send a sales broadcast to IT, and don't send a IT broadcast to sales. This will be limited to this particular area only now. That's how we are limiting a broadcast traffic, which is not required at all inter domain, or between this particular domains there is no broadcast required, so we are reducing it. Okay, is it clear? Hello.
Yes, clear.
Okay, now let us try to do one. Sorry. Hello. Ganesh, you said something.
No, sir.
Okay, so now let us do one lab, then we'll again come to some theory part. Okay, let me delete all this. How to do this? Okay. Okay. Now let me select network devices switch. One switch, we'll select it as a 2960. Okay. Then I will have some PCs. I'll take 4 PCs. Okay. Simple labs, we will start with simple labs, then we'll go with more complex labs also, once you start understanding the concepts. Okay. This is part of IT VLAN, we call it. Okay. This is again part of IT VLAN. Now this is part of sales VLAN. This is part of sales VLAN. Okay, done. Now there are two things whenever you create a VLAN. See, you remember when we started doing subnetting, when we have one big address in class C or class A or class B, and the subnet mask is, so with this subnet mask, how many addresses we are getting? We are getting 256 addresses, right? But now our requirement was for a IT, we want, suppose we want 40 users. For a HR, we want 40 users. Okay, correct? Or 1 minute, in our example we have taken sales, right? This is sales. Now what would be the new subnet, and what would be the addresses we will have for IT and sales? Can anyone tell me quickly? For 40 users, what would be the new subnet first? 40 users comes in which table? 2 power 6, 64, right? So now I have how many bits? I have 8 bits. I want only 6 bits. So 255, 255, 255 dot 192. And what would be the addresses? The network address would be 192.168.1.0. The broadcast address would be 192.168.1.63. For sales, see here 1.0 to 63 we already used. So for sales 192.168.1.64. Again new subnet mask would be same because the requirement is same, and 192.168.1.127. Correct? This is our requirement. So based on this particular, why we are doing a subnetting, because whenever we do a VLANs, we have VLANs for our departments within our network, correct? Dividing our networks or dividing our entire office users with each of the departments. And when we have a departments, each department should have a separate IP subnet. Okay, this would be the subnet or network address of IT department. Then this would be the subnet network address of sales department. Then what will happen? Whoever connecting to IT, they will use a network address from 1.1 to 1.62 addresses, and whoever connects to sales, they will use from 65 to 1.126 only. Okay, that's how things will work in environment. Okay, is it making sense now? Why we were doing subnetting and how we can divide subnet with each department? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's do, but what I will do initially, okay, we will use the same for IT. We will use this subnet. For sales, we will use this subnet. But as of now, I will not create any VLANs. Let us see before creating a VLANs, will the broadcast will happen or it will not happen. I'll use it a real-time environment. Okay. Let me configure only PCs as of now. Then we'll see. Desktop config. This is for IT user, right? So let me do 192.168 1.1. I'll change it to 192. Okay, fine. Close this. Then again I'll do it for here. Config fast ethernet 192.168 1.2. Then it would be 192. Okay. Now let's drag and see for IT what is IP fast ethernet 192.168 1.1, and for again IT PC 11 192.168 1.2. Now sales, we will again configure sales IPs under config fast ethernet, sorry, 192.168 1.65 it would be, right? Let us verify. The valid host would be 65 to 126. So 65 I am using here. I'll use 192. Okay. Then the second user config fast ethernet 192.168 1.66. It would be 192. Okay, fine. Now see, let us see a switch configuration. See, our PC is already configured now with each department IP address. How we are done? We have done PC 10 and PC 11 part of VLAN IT. Okay, and subnet mask, subnet address, network address, network subnet 192.168 1.0, mask 255.255.255.192. Okay, this is for PC 10 and 11. Then PC 12 and PC 13 part of VLAN sales. Okay, now see what is our network address 192.168 1.64. What is a mask 192.168, sorry, 255.255.255.192. Correct? So this is clear now, right? But now let's see on a switch side what we have. See, usually there would be one default VLAN configured on a switch. See, if you don't configure any VLAN, there would be one VLAN already available on a switch. VLAN number 1. Okay, this is called a default VLAN. Now, suppose in your switch you have 24 port switch. All 24 ports would be part of VLAN 1 by default. Now it's your responsibility as a network engineer which port should be part of which department or which VLAN you need to configure it. For that, what you will do, first step is VLAN database. Second step is assigning a VLAN to respective department. Assigning port to VLAN. Okay. So before we create a VLAN, let us see. See, now we already done like IT subnet is different. See, IT subnet is totally different now, right? This is IT subnet and sales subnet is totally different now. This is sales subnet. Now I cannot communicate between IT and sales for unicast communication. But let us see, broadcast communication will still happen. Broadcast traffic will still go from IT to sales. Before that, let me show you. If you go show VLAN, you will see there is one VLAN already available. Okay, VLAN number 1. You see here, this is default VLAN, and you see ports available in this VLAN is all the ports are part of VLAN 1 as of now. Correct? Now let me close the switch. We don't have anything to do with the switch now. What I'll do, I'll open PC1. I'll go to desktop, go to terminal. Before that, let me do simulation again. Edit filters. Okay, ARP and ICMP we have. I'll do PC1 to PC2. See, I am pinging only from one IT VLAN to IT VLAN only. We have two PCs here, right? This is IT VLAN PC. This is again IT VLAN PC, right? And this is a switch connected like this, right? Now we have sales VLAN also here. This is sales VLAN PC. This is also sales VLAN PC. PC3 and PC4. Now what I'll do, I'll ping from PC1 to PC2. This PC will do ARP. Traffic will go to switch. Switch, ideally switch should only send the broadcast traffic to PC2. Now let's see how PC switch will behave in this case when he don't have a VLANs, but departments are different. Let's see. I'll minimize this. Okay. Ping 192.168.1.2. Okay. Now let us come here. Okay. Now let us do this. Traffic came to PC. Let us open this first and let's see. You see, layer 2 is the broadcast address, right? Now let us again do it like, you see, now broadcast went to all the machines. You are seeing here, two PCs already denied. This PC is doing, that is general behavior. Now let us come to real time again. You see, but when I do unicast communication, suppose from IT to sales, this will not happen. I will not get a ping. Ping 192.168.1.65. You see, I'll not get any ping or anything. Even if you go for a simulation, request timeout, again go for a simulation, it will not go anywhere now. You see, request timeout happening. Why this is happening, we'll come to that later. But for now, you understand how the broadcast is working and how VLANs are able to help to save the broadcast. You are getting my point. See, when this PC is sending ARP, even this is different subnet now. This is subnet 1 and this is subnet 2. These are layer 3 wise, these are different networks now. This is subnet 2. When you come to layer 3, these are different networks now altogether. This is one network, this is second network. But via layer 2, still these are same networks because we have not segregated between the VLANs. So now let's do one thing. We'll create two VLANs in a switch, then we'll again verify. What I'll do, config T. See, whenever you open any switcher, let us do it from starting. I'll delete this. Okay. I'll add one more switch again. Okay. Okay. Now move forward. Okay. So whenever you are configuring any switch in a packet tracer, once you add connections, you open a switch, click on a switch, it will open. Go to CLI. You see, this is how many port switch? 12, 12, 24 port switch. Go to CLI and click on enter. Then first is enable. Enable means you are going into a switch. Enable mode, then config mode is a privilege mode, global config mode. Enable is a privilege mode, config is a global config mode. Okay. Config terminal. Now you are going into configuration mode. Now what you need to do, you need to create a VLAN database first. VLAN IT. VLAN IT you cannot create, you just create a VLAN number first. VLAN number 2, then give a name as a IT. Okay. Then come exit. Then VLAN number 3, again you gave a name as a sales. Now we just created a VLANs. How you will verify? You come again and show VLAN. You see, now we have two VLANs available, VLAN IT and VLAN sales, but you see there are no ports assigned to this VLAN. Now we need to assign a ports. Now let me assign a ports now. See, whenever you have a VLAN, there are two type of ports. One is a access port and one is a trunk port. First you understand what is a access port. Usually when the traffic is coming from a switch, if it is connected to endpoint, usually that particular port should be part of access port. This particular port should be type of access port. Okay, because only one PC is connected to that. Example, suppose you have one PC here, one switch connected, one switch is here, and you have another switch here. Okay, now you have one computer connected. Here you have another computer connected. PC2, PC1. This is connected here, this is connected here. Whenever you want from any particular port on a switch, should take part of only one VLAN. Okay, this port should be part of only VLAN 1 or part of only IT or part of only sales, not part of both the VLANs. Okay, that time you create a access port. But whenever you want any port should be part of multiple VLANs, or see, when it is part of IT, it will only accept the traffic of IT VLAN. It will not accept the traffic of sales VLAN. Okay, but there is a requirement that you want one specific port should accept the traffic of many VLANs. Okay, why this would be required? Suppose from a switch to switch you have communication. On this switch you have another port, another PC connected. Okay, this is IT PC, this is sales PC. Again here you have one more PC connected. This is IT PC, this is sales PC. Now IT wants to communicate with IT. Okay, and sales want to communicate with the sales. How this communication will happen? This traffic will come here. Okay, traffic will come here, it is part of IT, switch will accept it. But assume this port is part of only IT VLAN now. as a access port. Okay, so this will come here and switch will accept it and it will go to IT. Now this port is part of IT. A sales PC cannot send the traffic to this port, right? Correct? Because this is part of IT and this port will only accept the traffic of IT VLAN. It will not accept the traffic of sales VLAN. Is it correct? So what?
Yes.
So what? Sorry. Hello.
Yes, understood. I see.
Okay. So now what we are doing to overcome these issues? There is one more thing. We call it as a trunk port. What trunk port will do? Trunk port will be part of many VLANs. This port will be part of IT as well as the sales. Again, this port will be part of two VLANs now, IT and the sales. So IT traffic can also pass through this traffic and it will reach this switch. Sales traffic can also pass through this traffic. Okay, is it clear? Now let us do the configuration. Now in our scenario, we have only one switch and we have only computers connected. So I am giving all as a access ports only. So now let us see. Port number 1 and port number 2 are part of IT VLAN, right? So I'll go to configure terminal again. I go to interface fast ethernet 0/1. Okay, then I'll go to switch port mode. Switch port you do, then you give question mark, you will get mode or switch port access. Set the access mode characteristics. First I'll give switch port mode. What type of mode it is? It is, this should be part of access port or part of trunk port. Okay, so I'll give it like a switch port mode access. Then see, now what we did, this particular port should be part of access port, type of access port. Then which access, which VLAN should be it is. Then I'll give it like switch port access VLAN 2, right? It is IT part, right? So we gave that. Again I'll go to again interface 0/2. Again switch port mode means type, access port, then switch port access part of VLAN 2. We have done for a VLAN 2. Now let's go to again show VLAN brief. You see now with IT I have two ports assigned, but with the sales I have nothing to assign as of now. Let me assign it again. Config terminal interface fast ethernet 0/3 switch port mode access. See, mode means nothing, what type it is. This port should be part of access type. Then switch port access VLAN 3. 3 means sales. You see here. Usually we need to configure via numbers only. We cannot configure like sales. Exit. Then interface fast ethernet 0/4 again. Switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 3. And again I'll give show VLAN brief. Now we have all the things, right? IT is IT, sales is sales now, right? Correct. Now let us go to again PC1. Let's see, we have a ARP-A. There is no ARP entries now. PC2, let us see again if we have any ARP entries. There is no ARP entries. Now again what I'll do, previously what we did, we pinged from IT to IT, but traffic went everywhere, right? Again I'll do same scenario. Now this time we will observe the broadcast. So now our agenda should be, 1 minute. When we have a VLANs now, the broadcast should be, this should be one broadcast domain. Broadcast traffic should go only this domain, and this should be another broadcast domain. Whenever I ping a whenever I do ARP request, this traffic should broadcast only between these two ports. Okay, this is one part of one port, one domain, and this should be part of another domain. This should not go everywhere now. Okay, let us see again if we are able to do it. Before that, let me go for a simulation. Okay, I'll do ping 1.2. Okay, let's see what is a packet type. We have all F, that means broadcast, right? Now let me do it like this. I'll pause it here. Traffic came to switch now. Again, switch also has a broadcast traffic. Now let us again open. Now you observe traffic went only to one PC, it did not went to PC3 and PC4, right? Again traffic came to switch and it will go to only one PC. You getting it? How we have solved the broadcast issue with one particular VLAN configuration? Hello,
Yes,
guys.
I understood.
Okay. Now let us see one more time. This time I'll do the same ping from PC13. The traffic should be only within PC13 and PC12, not for any other particular. Let me close this. Let us see if we have any ARP on PC13 first. I don't have anything. Let's see any ARP on PC14. Nothing. Okay. We are good for simulation again. Let me do it PC13, right? What is IP config? Let me see. I don't remember. 65. So other PC would be 66. 66. I'll do it. Okay. You see, there should be. This is out traffic. All F is means broadcast. Let me do it here. This time, let's see how it will go. It only went to his own particular VLAN. It did not went to any other VLAN, right? Is it clear? Now let me go to real time again. Ganesh, Srinath,
Yes, clear. Like within a specific LAN, it will go when we ping any 192.168.1.64 in between 127, right? For
no.
this side of sales one.
Mhm. So no.
And for
Now
the
see,
mm,
this traffic is not
mm,
going based on IP address. This
okay.
whatever broadcast is
Mhm.
happening based on a VLANs now. See, previously also we had the same IPs, right? See, this was PC, this was our switch. Before we creating a VLANs, we had a four PCs, right? PC1,
Yes.
PC2. This was a part of IT network, right? 192, 168, 1.02, 192, 168, 1.63. This was dot 1, this was dot 2 connected, right? Then we had more PCs, PC3, PC4. This was sales PC, and this particular subnet was 192.168, 1.64, 192, 168, 1.127, right? So this was a dot 65, this was dot 66 IP. This is all layer 3, okay? But when we did not created any VLANs in a switch, when you ping from 1 to 2, right? Still the broadcast was happening everywhere, right? Here, when we did not create any VLANs, correct?
Yes.
Let us see again. I'll delete a VLANs. Let's see. No VLAN 2, sorry, no VLAN 2, no VLAN 3, and show VLAN brief. Now everything is part of, sorry, switch port 1234 is not part of this. Show run interface. Still it is showing part of VLAN. 2 and VLAN 3 only. Okay. Config T interface fast Ethernet 0/1. No switch port mode access. No switch port VLAN access VLAN 2. Same thing for a 2 number. See, when previously when we configured, we gave switch port mode access and all, right? When I want to delete this command, simply I need to give no in front of that command. Exit interface VLAN 0/3. No switch port mode access. No switch port access VLAN 3. 0/4 again. No switch port mode access. No switch port VLAN 3. Now let us see again. Show VLAN brief. All part of again VLAN 2, right? See what you are saying, when we are communicating between 1.0, it will go only 1.0. Communicating between 1.64 to 1.197, it will go to this. This is not the way actually that traffic is segregating. Now what we are doing, we are dividing the traffic based on a layer 2, not layer 3. Whatever this IP address based division, this is okay. This we are doing on a layer 3. Okay, but still if you don't segregate on a layer 2, still the broadcast will happen everywhere. You see now, let me see, let us see ARP -a, if you have any ARP. Okay, we have ARP now. I'll clear all ARP table, ARP -d. There is no ARP table now, right? Let me do it for same. Okay, I'll again do it for PC1 only. -d ARP -a. There is no ARP table. Again, let me go to simulation. This time I don't have any VLANs again. If you see, only one VLAN is there, but still it is divided by layer 3, right? So as per your understanding, this broadcast should only happen between a domain, not with the outside the domain. But until you do a VLAN segregations, that is not possible. Let us do check it again. I'll go to simulation. I'll again go to a ping 192.168.1.2. Okay, again this is going, it is all F here. You see, as soon as switch sees a F, it is going with everywhere wherever possible, because all ports are part of same VLAN as of now. Getting my point?
Yes, now
Clear.
clear.
Yeah,
So for creating VLANs, we are adding that one switch port mode access and all
correct,
in
correct,
switch.
correct.
Okay,
No, no,
okay.
see, there are two steps.
Huh,
First,
yeah, I got that. Yeah.
first you need to create a VLAN database. So how you are creating a VLAN database? VLAN, then VLAN number, whatever number, 2 or 3. Then you can give a name to that VLAN, IT or sales. This is optional. You want to give, you give, or else you don't give. It's up to you. But to create a VLAN database, you need to give this command VLAN number and VLAN, then what is a VLAN number. Okay, let us give again. This time what I will do, for your understanding again, I'll add two more ports to VLAN IT and one more port to VLAN sales. Okay, now see, 5, 6, then this would be 7. Okay, this 4 should be part of IT VLAN, this 3 should be part of sales VLAN. Now what should happen? Broadcast should happen only between this 4 and between these 3. This 4 broadcast should not go to this, and this broadcast should not come to this. Okay, 1 minute. Epic pin, hold on. Okay. Now what is happening here? What we are trying to do? This is one particular domain now. Okay. These all PCs are one domain, and these PCs are part of another domain. Okay. So whatever this particular PC do a broadcast, it should be only between these PCs, and this PC do a broadcast, this should be in his own domain only. Okay. Before that, let me do it like, first let me need to configure again VLANs. For that, what I am going to do, let me do this. I am going to again configure terminal. VLAN number is 2. Anything you can do. VLAN number is anything between 1 to 4094. Anything you can do apart from VLAN number 1 to see. There are specific VLANs you cannot configure. VLAN number 1 you cannot configure, you cannot modify anything, you cannot do. But VLAN number 10002 to 10005, this you cannot delete. Apart from this, you can use any VLAN. I can use it like VLAN number 10, VLAN 10. Then a name is optional. Whenever you give name, you give it whatever you name it. You can name it to like Srinath, Ganesh, Sonia, whatever you want, that VLAN name. VLAN again, I'll give it like sales. Sorry, sales is not possible. I'll give it a number. Name sales. Okay, that is done. Now we need to configure interfaces. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Switch port type is a mode. Access switch port access VLAN 10. Our ID is VLAN 10, right? Then again switch port fast Ethernet 2. Switch port access VLAN 10. Then port number 5 and 6. Port number 5 mode access VLAN 10. Port number 6 switch port mode switch port access VLAN 10. 4 ports we have all configured. Now let's see. Show VLAN brief. You see, with IT I have 4 ports configured. Now I need to configure 3 ports with the sales. Now again config terminal. Interface fast Ethernet 0/3. Switch port mode access switch port access VLAN, sorry, access switch port access VLAN 20. Again port 4 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 20. Then port 7 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 20. Now this is done. Show VLAN brief. Now let's see. With the IT I have 4 ports, so IT traffic should broadcast only to 4 ports. With the sales I have 3 ports, so sales traffic should broadcast only to 3 ports. Correct? Is it clear?
Yes,
Let
clear.
me do one thing. 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Huh? Okay. Now we don't want this. Okay. So whenever traffic is going, we'll get to know. This 4 part of IT, this 3 part of sales now. Again, let me go to PC1 now again. I'll go to command prompt. 1 minute. 1 minute, hold on guys, I'll come back. Okay, so now let us see. I'll open PC10. First I'll do check R pipe in a. There is ARP. Let me delete all ARP hyphen D invalid command. It is saying space hyphen D. Okay. Now let me again check. Is there any ARP table? We don't have any ARP table now. Again, I'll go to simulation. This time, the broadcast should happen between 4 PCs. Again, I'll do a ping. Start this. Let us see. You see, broadcast is going to all 3 PCs, but it is not going to sales environment. It is only between one particular environment, right? Unnecessary. There is no requirement of broadcast from IT to sales, so we are not doing that, right? You getting it?
Yes.
Similar to that, even sales broadcast will not happen to IT. Let us verify that also. Closed this. I'll open a sales. This time I'll open PC2L. Command prompt. We have ARP D, ARP-A, no ARP now. I'll ping 65 IP simulation 65. Okay. Now let's see. ARP packet went to switch. What switch will do now? Switch send only to sales VLAN. See, all these 3 ports are part of sales VLAN, right? So it sent to only sales VLAN. It did not send to IT VLAN. Correct? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So that's all we have for VLAN segregations or VLAN topic. But you need to practice it a lot. So there are some theory things with the VLAN. One is a default VLAN, which is always VLAN 1. Okay. And there are total number of VLANs, VLAN 1 to 4094, I guess. Let us verify that. Come to real time. How many VLANs we can configure? VLAN 1 to 4094. Okay. This many VLANs you can configure, but VLAN number 1, VLAN 1005 to how many? Let's see. 1002 to 1005. You cannot use any time. VLAN 1 you can use, but you cannot modify anything. Like you cannot delete. Okay. And VLAN 102 to 105 you cannot even use it. This was created initially when the switch environment was used, and initially when there was different technology, that time this particular VLAN was used, but in today's environment it's of no use. Okay. Then anything VLAN 2 to 4094 you can use anything apart from this particular numbers. Okay. Then we have something called access port in a VLANs. Access port generally accept the traffic from one VLAN. Okay. Then we have a trunk port. This trunk port can accept the traffic from multiple VLANs. We will have this labs tomorrow. Still there is some traffic, some theory also with the trunk ports. We will do it tomorrow. Okay. So any questions? If you guys,
Can you share that video yesterday's and today's?
I'll share. See,
Sure.
usually I upload videos every Friday. I'll do it tonight or tomorrow morning. This all 3 days videos I'll upload it. Okay. Yeah. So for today you go through a theory of a VLANs, what is access ports, and what is trunk ports. Okay, this theory you learn. Whenever you learn this theory, you will get to know what is broadcast domain and all. Okay, if you have any questions, please ask me anytime. You guys have my WhatsApp number, you can ping me anytime.